authorities. To my surprise, this chance remark elicited a deluge of correspondence from affected residents. And I want to summarize the incidents of corruption, illegalities, and abuses that were alleged to be taking place in urban and local authorities under the watch of the MDC opposition, irrespective of which splinter MDC group is in charge of which local authority. These acts of corruption, illegalities, and abuse have gravely compromised service delivery. There is no water reticulation, no roads, no refuse collection, no sewage, no electricity connection, making urban municipalities a health time bomb waiting to explode. Land set aside for recreational facilities, wastelands, areas reserved for roads, infrastructure, schools, clinics, have been parceled out and turned into cash cows by corrupt councillors and council officials. This correspondence, and it still keeps coming. I wondered, as someone who grew up in a village, I always wondered the mindset of the urban mindset. I still have to come to grips or to grapple with how it thinks. And when I examine what is taking place, I find that the more corrupt the MDC councillors become, the more the urban voters vote for them. The more raw sewage flow into their homes, into the streets, the more the urban voter vote for them. The more roads become road potholed, service delivery becomes poorer, the more they become agitated. Shamisa Chet, I think we need an anthropological or sociological report study to understand the connection between poor service delivery and the ability to continue earning votes on an increasing scale, notwithstanding poor service delivery, poor water reticulation, which are all the responsibilities of the urban local authorities. They receive rates. Where is the money going? It should be going to do all these things, but it's not happening. Let me give you the particulars sent to me in the correspondence. It said that mayors and councillors are demanding kickbacks and money to sign recommendation letters for allocation of residential, commercial, churches, recreational, and industrial stands. At the mention of churches, I wondered, what kind of churches are these? What kind of immorality do you pay in order to build a church of God? To pay a bribe? What does it mean to your congregation that you pay a bribe in order to get a stand to build God's home? The correspondence also revealed that the MDC opposition councillors in turn are turning a blind eye to officials demanding bribes and kickbacks before they can recommend residents for allocation of residential, commercial, churches, recreational, and business stands. Also, mayors and councillors are alleged to be demanding a share or a quota of all stands that are created in their wards, which they will sell for personal gain. Also, mayors, councillors, and officials are said to have formed cartels, cutting across departments and some outside agents that ensure that the swift illegal town planning, there is rampant illegal town planning taking place, rampant illegal surveying, undervaluation, allocation, and disposal of council land where the proceeds in US dollars are shared and accumulate numerous personal, residential, commercial, and industrial stands cheaply acquired from councils by putting in place so-called council policies that facilitate the looting, e.g., the correspondents even highlighted the policies that have been put in place specifically to facilitate corruption. The first, a councillor, I am told, gets a residential and commercial stand for every 5-year term of office. Did you know this as journalists? If you didn't, what becomes of your investigative journalism? 2, council will not approve anything in all its committees unless the ward councillors have signed in agreement. So the ward councillor's signature is now worth a lot of money, because to get the agreement, you must pay. This is illegal since it is not provided for anywhere in the statutes. It actually promotes bribes and corruption. Did we know this? This is a policy that should be debated to say, once you get in there, if you're a council, in fact, people get employment in council specifically so that they can get a residential stand and pay 30%. After they've done that, they can go to another employment. That is what is going on in your councils. We also get this allegation that councillors are working in cahoots with council employees to swiftly parcel out and allocate and or sell stands in wetlands without following town planning and allocation procedures, also often allocating to those politically aligned to them. Then G, land barons claiming to be politically aligned to the MDC opposition use their influence to fleece innocent residents of their hard-earned money, in addition to making them lose money by building unplanned settlements and or on wetlands where the structures end up at some point being demolished, causing double jeopardy to the unsuspecting residents. And is the land baron, please arrest him, help to arrest him. It's not true. We do not sanction, we do not give any authority to any person to deal in land anywhere, whether rural or urban. So anyone who says to that effect is a bogus person and should be arrested on sight. ZANU PF notes with grave concern and condemns in the strongest possible terms the rampant corruption, illegalities, and abuses taking place in the local authorities under the corrupt, watchful eye of the MDC opposition. ZANU PF is therefore calling upon all local authorities run by the MDC opposition, the respective mayors, councillors in their official and individual capacities, town clerks, and other senior municipal officials in their official and individual capacities, and all municipal employees to desist and stop forthwith all manner of corruption, all corrupt tendencies, including accepting bribes, upon all relevant law enforcement arms of government to enforce the law with no fear or favor, to ensure that the corruption wrought in local authorities is stopped forthwith, immediately. Any law enforcement agents who connive to promote corruption by not prosecuting cases that are brought to their attention by whistleblowers and members of the public should immediately be brought to book and be prosecuted. Residents and members of the public are urged in the first instance not to vote for corrupt councillors and individuals, and in the second instance not to protect corrupt councillors and officials. Where bribes are requested, residents should immediately alert law enforcement agents so that traps can be set up and culprits are caught and brought to book. Residents and members of the public are also urged not to offer any bribes, or should we say, Marie Coke, or thank you tokens, or combi, or bus fare, has observed that this is fueling corruption. Generally, we are told, according to this correspondence, officials will come. They are paid to do their duties, but they will come and say, "Andina Maria chikafu." And they will mention that as a story, preliminary, and then it sends a coup to the person seeking the service. So, no, I think I must pay something. That individuals should not do. Land barons continue to fleece residents of their hard-earned money, and ZANU PF calls upon residents to be vigilant and not fall prey to them. ZANU PF condemns all land barons and does not support anyone who steals from innocent persons. We urge citizens to report land barons to law enforcement arms of government. ZANU PF is calling upon all segments of the splitting MDC to join hands with ZANU PF in taking all necessary measures, including reporting all corrupt MDC mayors and councillors, as well as council employees. Don't hide your corrupt councillors. Don't hide your corrupt mayors. Help government, help the law enforcement agencies expose these people so that they are arrested, and with a cleaner society, we have better administered local authorities which offer service, rehabilitate our roads, put water reticulation, collect refuse, which all of which are responsibilities of councils, which currently are all run by the MDC. So we demand as ZANU PF that the MDC opposition party should join hands with ZANU PF and His Excellency President E.D. Mnangagwa in uprooting corruption from our society, root, stem, and branch.